Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans, and it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Miami Dolphins. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw is Watson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Not the best of starts here. We know they're on a 2-game skid. 3 and out. That's not what they had drawn up.
Not even close, and now what you're asking your defense to do is pick you up. And they've had to do that, I'm sure, during this losing streak. Hopefully you've got one of those confident defenses that says, we'll take care of that. Hopefully you'll get back on track soon.
A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
On 1st down, Fitzpatrick. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown ground as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week, and it hasn't worked. And in fact, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pin right in my name.
He keeps playing like this. He'll be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They'll run on 1st down. Tyson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Fitzpatrick. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was a nice fit.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has not been on his A game, but his team has really picked him up. I think he probably now in 2nd quarter he's thinking, all right, time for me to get going.
And he also has to keep in mind that, you know, he has contributed. You're exactly right. Not totally on his A game, but guess what?
He's got the touchdown.
He's got a touchdown pass. Yes, he tempered it with an interception, but he has contributed, and he just can't get down and worry about his own stats. The team's winning. That's cause for celebration, even though there's a ways to go.
Well, now he'll be looking to contribute a little bit more. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player? No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami 1st. They'll run on 1st down. Tyson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch the screen.
2nd and 2. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Runs through the contact, and he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. He juked him. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't
This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 36 yards on the play.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. They're going to look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Texans defense stands tall. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on, and Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he will have a touchdown.
You see me out here? That's right.
You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw, escaping the pressure right. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Ebron with it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. On first down, Watson. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised about a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Back to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. They'll keep it on the ground. Fitzpatrick. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete.
Here comes the ball. I say, I say.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Watson now to throw. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of 3, second down. From just shy of midfield, Watson, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Now a play fake here on first down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And that is caught for the 2 points. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Right back to him on first down. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On second down, Fitzpatrick. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Hey, come on. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Kill.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Strip that ball.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Under 10.
Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They will run with Singletary. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. It's complete to Hopkins. And all the way to the opposite 45. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 51 yards. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10, clear on the other side of the field. Here's Watson. Oh, no, he lost the football. Well, this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. They'll keep it on the ground. Fitzpatrick, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. They'll keep it on the ground. Fitzpatrick. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. On third down, Fitzpatrick. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go right back to Singletary. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football?
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And taken right at the 35. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 more yards this time coming off back-to-back 1st down pickups. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. They'll keep it on the ground. Fitzpatrick. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. And he'll give it here to his running back. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Come on, fellas.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. Take it at the 37. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So the Dolphins now down by a field goal. And time, a huge factor. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Back to throw. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended. Down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people now saying, I need a game management coach, someone in the booth to take the emotion out of it. Did they lose track of where they were on the clock, right? Did they lose track of where they were on the field? Was it